This is the real career climb in UAE healthcare, from GP to consultant authority, where income, influence, and career power change completely. Over the past decade, the UAE healthcare landscape has undergone a major transformation. The system has shifted from a volume-driven primary care model toward a more specialized, outcome-focused ecosystem. Private healthcare groups, hospital networks, and specialty centers are now prioritizing doctors who can manage complex cases, contribute to service expansion, and elevate institutional reputation. This evolution has created a clear hierarchy in clinical value. In the current market, specialization and clinical authority carry significantly more weight than general experience alone. Hospitals are not only hiring doctors to fill roles, they are hiring doctors who strengthen brand positioning, patient trust, and long-term service line growth. This is especially visible in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, where competition between healthcare providers is intense and reputation-driven. Another major driver of this shift is the gradual adoption of value-based healthcare principles in the UAE. This model emphasizes patient outcomes, long-term care quality, and efficiency rather than simple patient volume. As a result, doctors who can demonstrate expertise, leadership, and measurable clinical impact are increasingly seen as high-value assets within the system. The GP role remains essential and respected in the UAE healthcare structure. However, in many private sector settings, it operates within a defined ceiling in terms of influence and income scalability. Earnings are often tied to patient flow, clinic structure, and insurance billing models. This means two GPs with similar qualifications can have very different career trajectories depending on workplace dynamics. Consultant-level doctors operate in a fundamentally different category. They attract more complex cases, command higher institutional trust, and are frequently positioned as clinical leaders within their departments. This authority translates not only into higher compensation potential, but also into stronger negotiation leverage and long-term career security. In the UAE market, passive career progression is increasingly ineffective. Strategic specialization is no longer optional. It is a core requirement for doctors aiming for long-term growth. Doctors who remain in general roles for extended periods without credential advancement often experience career stagnation compared to peers who pursue structured specialization pathways. Understanding license pathways is one of the most underestimated strategic advantages. DHA, DOH, and MOH licensing frameworks are not just administrative steps, they directly define your market value and employment tier. Consultant status typically requires recognized specialization, verified post-qualification experience, and alignment with UAE regulatory standards. Following the pandemic, regulatory bodies in the UAE have adopted stricter and more structured credential evaluation process. There is greater scrutiny on documentation, clinical scope, and authenticity of experience. This has further widened the gap between general practitioners and formally recognized consultants in terms of hiring priority. Certain clinical areas are experiencing accelerated demand in the UAE. These include chronic disease management, lifestyle medicine, procedural specialties, and subspecialty care aligned with long-term population health needs. Doctors working within high-demand niches often experience faster career progression and stronger institutional value. International certifications, especially recognized Western boards and structured specialist training programs, significantly enhance professional credibility in the UAE. Credential alignment with recognized global standards builds immediate trust with employers, regulators, and patients. And in a reputation-driven market, trust directly influences opportunity. The UAE healthcare environment is increasingly digital first. Patients frequently research doctors online before booking consultations, and healthcare institutions evaluate digital reputation alongside clinical credentials. This means authority is no longer built solely within hospital walls. Developing a professional medical brand is becoming a strategic necessity. This includes participation in conferences, educational content, academic contributions, and professional visibility within the healthcare ecosystem. In competitive cities like Dubai, reputation compounds over time and directly impacts patient volume and referral patterns. Beyond clinical expertise, communication plays a major role in authority development. Doctors who communicate clearly, educate patients effectively, and build trust through patient-centric engagement often achieve stronger long-term retention and reputation growth. Authority in modern healthcare systems is built through both outcomes and perception. Financial progression in the UAE healthcare system is not linear. GP roles are commonly structured around fixed salaries with performance-linked components based on patient volume. In contrast, consultant contracts increasingly include incentives, revenue share structures, and performance bonuses, which significantly expand earning potential over time. From a realistic private sector perspective, GP income may range approximately between 18 and 45,000 AED, depending on clinic module and experience. Specialists often fall within 35 to 70,000 AED. Consultant roles typically begin around 40,000 and can exceed 100,000 or more with incentives, subspecialty demand, and strong patient flow. This variability highlights the importance of positioning rather than relying solely on experience. At higher authority levels, income is not limited to consultations alone. Doctors may contribute to service development, departmental leadership, and strategic incentives within healthcare organizations. These roles create additional income streams and long-term career leverage. Top-tier consultants often influence institutional decision-making, clinical protocols, and department-level strategy. This value extends beyond clinical hours into system-level impact. This is a defining difference between practitioners and authorities within the UAE healthcare structure. Looking ahead, the Gulf healthcare sector is rapidly integrating AI-driven diagnostics, personalized medicine, and data-driven clinical management systems. Doctors who evolve into clinical leaders and adapt to technological integration will remain highly competitive in the long term. Another emerging trend is regional influence across the GCC. Many established consultants build reputations that extend beyond the UAE into Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and other Gulf markets. This regional recognition significantly enhances career stability and financial opportunity. Ultimately, the consultant climb requires a mindset shift from task execution to strategic contribution, from employment to professional positioning, from clinical service delivery to institutional value creation. In the UAE healthcare system, competence provides stability, but authority provides leverage, influence, and scalable long-term income potential. The transition from GP to consultant is not merely a promotion, it is a transformation in professional identity, market value, and career trajectory within one of the most competitive healthcare markets in the world. And for doctors planning a serious long-term career in the UAE, that climb is not optional, it is the defining strategic pathway.